Joshua Lee Nightenberg. I'm a fine art photographer out in New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been shooting photographs since I was a teenager, but it was always a hobby until about 10 weeks after Katrina. When I evacuated for the storm, I was an insurance agent with photography as a hobby, and then it dawned on me that I had two things. One, I was going to be selling insurance in New Orleans for a while, life and health insurance, and two, that all of a sudden a lot of the photographs that I took as a hobbyist were now memories of places that were gone. So I did the Madisonville Wood and Bow Festival about 10 weeks after Katrina. It was my first show, and the public embraced. I was really lucky that I had 15,000 pictures of pre-Katrina South Louisiana, and I did the Madisonville Wood and Bow Festival, and managed to make a number of good customers. Virtually every Saturday since Thanksgiving of 2005, I've been at a fair or festival somewhere in South Louisiana sharing my favorite moods and memories of South Louisiana, whether it's architecture, swamp scenes, trees, landscapes, food things, swamp creatures, pelicans, egrets, all the things that are beautiful, historical, and frankly kind of peculiar about South Louisiana. I'm kind of a landlubber. Most of the time I'm driving somewhere on a side road or something, or a bridge, and the light's right, and I stop, I get out, I shoot it, try to get out of there before the state troopers find me. A few interesting adventures. I do get stopped by the state troopers a lot on bridges because it's frowned upon, and probably riskier than I like to believe that it is. I was doing a documentary, shooting a house demolition, sitting on the roof of a bus shelter on New Orleans, in New Orleans on Broad and St. Bernard, and while I was sitting on the roof of the bus shelter, a domestic disturbance unfolded in the bus shelter waiting for the bus, which ended up with guns drawn and an amazing amount of drama. So for the most part, it's all been fine. There's been a few moments like that, but you know, it's reasonably safe work. I just had a lady walk out of here a few minutes ago, and she was talking to me about this particular image. Actually, I don't have it there. I sold it. This particular shot is the 17th Street Canal in New Orleans. It's Jefferson Parish here, Orleans Parish here. I shot this December of 2004, and the storm took this. And the reason that this particular image is important, what happened is people would see this image and they would tell me about how it related to them personally. For example, a lot of people would go fishing off this bridge, or they would ride their bike across the bridge, or jog across the bridge, or they ate dinner at Sidmar's on a regular basis, or they played volleyball over here at beachfront volleyball, or they ate at Brunings, or they would drink at the dock. So all these people's stories would come into the booth, and that's when I realized it's a beautiful photograph perhaps, but more important, it's what connects these people to our geography and our community. So it really kind of lit me up to realize that it's more about memories and moods than it is about the actual technical aspects of the photography. And connecting to people in a way that's personal and relevant to them. Really. Well, you know, South Louisiana is an ever-changing landscape, and in the rest of my lifetime, I think it's going to change a lot more. I want to document it and preserve as much of it as I can as it changes and, frankly, washes into the Gulf. Right now, you're interviewing me at Festival International in Lafayette, Louisiana. One of my favorite events of the year. It's a free event, and the music is fantastic, and the crowd has always been very warm and receptive, and one of my favorites. Of course, you can find my schedule at joshualeestudio.com, where I am somewhere every Saturday celebrating the local culture and history of South Louisiana.